Hello and welcome to another episode of Quasi's Corner with me, Quasi. Today we are talking about these Bosphorus cymbals here. New stock that has just come in, just been shipped over, as I think it's just been opened up in the shop, and I've had first bash. We're going to be looking at some of these models in a bit more depth and kind of explaining what these are about. I think there are possibly some here that maybe some of you have never heard of. That is good, because I'm about to explain. Okay, so here we have the Bosphorus setup that we have for today. Very, I wouldn't say basic setup. There's some quite eclectic cymbals here. So it's quite an eclectic range, should I say, of cymbals available. There are no crashes here in this setup, but we have here a good range of cymbals, ranging from hats to rides to splashes, or ride singular and splashes. Or splash singular and effect cymbal singular. So, you know. So first of all, we have the this right here, the FX China by forgot what the guy's name is. I can't quite read his signature, but he's one of the artists of Bosphorus. Bosphorus have quite an eclectic range of artists all over the world, from all over the world, and you've got some really creative players on there. I think his name is Zendolfi, I'm not sure. Cymbal sounds good anyway. This is an FX China. I'm not sure what series it is, but it's there. And it's a 6-hole, 12-inch China. I have seen iterations of this from other brands, to be honest. But none have sounded as fun to play. I'll tell you why this is nice, because this is, for me, it's based on a traditional. It's hammered very interestingly, and on the edge, it's very, very thin. So it's very, very responsive to play. Very sharp. You just, like, quick, out of the way. Very sharp, very cutting, but a kind of sparse cutting rather than a full kind of cut through everything. It's kind of like this playful kind of sound that it's got to it. Quite airy. And that is attributed to the fact that, or what attributes to that fact is the fact that it's got holes in it. But when you hit cymbal, for those of you who don't know, when you hit cymbal without holes, the vibrations go on top and underneath in an even way across the surface of the cymbal. Once you've got holes in, it kind of, how do I say, it messes up that process. So you've got a very uneven sound, very aggressive, very sharp, which is why when you put holes in normal cymbals, suddenly sounding very aggressive. If you want to see the more scientific stuff, I'm not your man. Go on somewhere else on YouTube, I'm sure you can find out somehow. Next up, we have this EBC series Glossy ride, right? I think it's another signature from another artist. I think it's Zendolfi again. Very well lathed on top, it's hammered there. Towards the edge you've got this kind of New Orleans lathing, so it's kind of like on-off, on-off, on-off kind of lathing. You've got like little lines of lathing and non-lathing. The first ones that we got to the shop were a bit lighter than this cymbal, so the bell sounded a bit too integrated to be used for certain things. So we've got a heavier version down. Mark, the owner, has decided to get a heavier one down, and it's paid off. Underneath, as you can see, the bell is unlathed. You've got that sort of New Orleans patterning, but wider, in a wider area, and it's unlathed on the edge. So it really makes for a complex sound when you are hitting this. And look, it's not that light, and it's not classically Bosphorously bendable, but at the same time, you've got a good amount of definition. Not just any kind of definition, you've got that glassy definition, hence the reason why it's called a glassy ride. And the bell, like I said, cuts through, and it's quite high-pitched, but high-pitched without being flipping annoying. So if you're doing drum and bass, or kind of music where you need to just kind of let loose a little bit, you can hit the edge of this with the tip of the stick, the New Orleans area, as I'll call it, and you get a good response. So it's pretty cool. Okay, so next up we have this antique series splash. We haven't usually had a lot of splashes in the shop. The ones that we've usually had in, I believe, are the gold series and a couple of traditionals and a couple of traditional FX cymbals or splashes. So I've never seen a Bosphorus antique splash before yesterday, but yeah, I was pleasantly surprised at how versatile this was. Very quick splash, doesn't sound too gongy, nice little resonance, sounds sharp and cutting without being too high-pitched and annoying. Again, this is my preference. I don't like too high-pitched cymbals. Quite thin, as you can see. Look at that, look at that, look at that. And yeah, really responsive, takes a few blows nicely as well. And quite, let me think of a word, splooshy. but no, realistically, it's got a nice chook to it. Like when you're hitting that, it's, you know, kind of in and out of the way quite quickly. It's not too glossy, not too thick, and definitely not too thin. So you can hit that and you know that's just going to project and keep up with the rest of the sound on here. Really, really versatile little splash. I was quite surprised, to be honest. Next up, we have these beasts. Now, this is called the hybrid for now. I'm not sure what exactly the official name for this is. But I think it's acid blasted, and basically Mark, along with Danny, went over to Music Mess a month ago or two, and they saw this with the Bosphorus guys, you know, and they were chatting with them, and they had just, you know, brought one set along to experiment with, and or just see how the crowd respond, and the guys fell in love with that and wanted to bring it back. It's the heaviest hi-hat, set of hi-hats I've probably played on so far. It's definitely the chunkiest. What do I think of these? These would be perfect in the studio. To be honest, I have a set, that's on a personal level. In the studio, I have a set of Turks I just got, right? So Turks for studio use, and they're great, but they're a bit too dark, and it was being noticed by the engineer for the session that I was doing at the time, that they were just a bit too dark. And this just seems like the perfect sort of answer for that, because it's just as thick, if not thicker, on both the bottom and the top. Very, very dry, really, really dry, which is what I like about it, because obviously in the studio you don't want anything to, you know, everywhere, resonance everywhere. You want something that you can just play and know that it's going to be controllable and it will respond as quickly as you need it to. So you've got a very nice sharp set of hats. You also have the same hats in 15. Kind of looks like this. The hats that we got were a lot thinner. As you can see, this is the top hat of the 15. Very, very light, very light indeed. Doesn't have a weight on it, but in comparison to the 14, extremely light and quite a fuzzy dryness to it, if that makes sense. And is great for those of you who would want something just a little bit different, So these are available in probably 13s eventually. They are available in 14s, said here, 15s, and probably 16s. Remember, Bosphorus can make anything, so there you are. So, just when you thought it couldn't get any better, we have one last cymbal for you, and that is the Bosphorus traditional China. Ta 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 ta. So, I'm very impressed by this. This is great. This is great. I'll tell you why, because all the Chinas that I tried out were a little bit hard and the edge was a little bit too sharp. So it wasn't coming off, you know, the Bosphorus ones that I tried out beforehand. This is the first one actually that I've tried that has a very gradual edge instead of that sharp kind of edge, so you can really hammer the crap out of this. This is great. Very thin, again, which was something that I believe they didn't have before. I was really impressed by this. As you can see in the little demo, I had it almost vertical, kind of Ndugu Chancellor. But yeah, extremely sharp, extremely powerful, in your face, dark, but cutting at the same time. Not too dark and very cutting, but not too dark. Being traditional, it's not as bright as, you know, like say for instance a gold series China. And this is available right now. I haven't heard many Chinas like this. So you might want to have a look at this, because you could have fun with this. And I haven't even tried to stack it or anything, so I'm pretty sure it will sound pretty cool in a stack too. Just like this one actually, funny enough, going back to the FX China, you put a little 10-inch on that, you're ready to go. So, you know, there's options stacking wise, that should be pretty cool. So there you have it, Bosphorus setup. And thanks for watching another episode, bearing with us and watching this face. We thank you for watching. Please let us know what your thoughts are on these cymbals. If you have any questions regarding this, any of the cymbals featured in this video, please don't hesitate to call Drumshack 0207 228 1000. That's 0207 228 1000. You can ring them, ask for advice. They will help you do whatever you need to do. In terms of coming down, hearing it, give you an explanation of how they cost, how much they cost, whatever. So it's all there for you. Please do not forget to hit subscribe, and we will be seeing you soon. Take care. I'm out.